Burnout isn't a badge of honor, it's the warning. Tax season doesn't have to break you. Reverse it. This is where you come back to life. This tax season. Join us.
JJ-the-CPA here. Hope you're doing well. This is a raw reading of my book, Reverse Thinking Required, by me with Michelle Cornish, MBA. We're going to be reading Chapter 4, Reverse Engineering Defined. Now, if you're wanting to get to earlier chapters or later chapters, look in the body of this. You'll see links, and there'll also be links at the end. I also have a version that has commentary about the book before and after with each chapter. So, thanks for being here. Chapter 4, Reverse Engineering Defined. When you're running a business, it's easy to lose sight of what matters most. For many of us, especially in the CPA profession, our focus gets stuck on serving clients, hitting deadlines, and growing revenue. We find ourselves in a cycle of constant motion, taking on more and more without stopping to ask if we're heading in the right direction. This is where the concept of reverse engineering becomes essential. Reverse engineering at its core is about starting with the end in mind. It's looking at where you want to be, both in life and in business, and then figuring out the steps it takes to work backwards to get there. For me, it meant asking tough questions after my stroke. How many clients can I really serve? How many hours can I work without compromising my health? How do I balance my life and my business without sacrificing one for the other? So, how do you begin to reverse engineer your business? Think about what your ideal business looks like. If you could start from scratch, how many clients would you handle? How many hours a week would you work? What kind of clients would you serve? And most importantly, how much money would you need to make, not just what you want to make, to live comfortably and meet your personal and professional goals? When I sat down to reverse engineer my practice, I had to get real with myself. Most of us, when we start a business, don't take the time to calculate this. We get caught up in the excitement and hustle, often using what we call the napkin method to plan out our business. We scribble down how many clients we'll need, how much we'll charge, and boom, we assume we've got a solid plan. But as we all know, businesses don't run on napkins. We're quickly met with client demands, unexpected expenses, and the reality that working for yourself doesn't mean freedom. It often means working 60-hour weeks just to stay afloat. And without realizing it, you're trapped in a pattern of taking on too much because somewhere along the way, you lost sight of the why behind it all. To reverse engineer effectively, you have to lean into your experiences. If someone came to you and asked for advice on starting a business like yours, what would you tell them? Would you tell them to take on every client they could, work weekends, push themselves to exhaustion, and charge the least? Well, of course not. You'd likely share some of your hard-earned lessons, the moments where you failed, overcommitted, and let the business consume you. Keep those in mind as you start to reverse engineer this process. For me, this was working too much overtime and not setting boundaries. Heck, I didn't even know what boundaries were. I like to think you'd also have some victories to share, the strategies that did work. Before reverse engineering my practice, some of my success included being loyal to my client base and growing my business steadily over the years. I was able to attract high-paying clients, many of whom stayed with me for decades, which provided a strong sense of stability. I also became known for taking on complex tax cases, delivering quality work, and being available whenever clients needed me, even if it meant working late nights and weekends. This commitment earned me a solid reputation in the CPA world, allowing me to expand my practice quickly. I was successful in increasing my revenue and taking on more clients than I ever thought possible, driven by the belief that more clients and more work meant greater success. However, while these were successes on paper, they eventually led me to realize that growth without structure wasn't sustainable. In these experiences, both good and bad, that will help you reverse engineer a better business model. So start by asking yourself, how did you get here? How did you end up with your current workload, client list, and business structure? Most likely it wasn't part of a well thought out plan, it just happened. Now is the time to take control and create a business that works for you. It starts with knowing exactly what you need, both personally and professionally, and making sure that you're focusing on going forward to meet those needs. One of the most important aspects of reverse engineering is defining your bottom line. How much profit do you need to make each month to meet your goals? Not how much revenue, profit. And be realistic. Sure, we all dream of making millions, but what's the actual number you need to live the life you want? For me, I had to sit down and figure out what my family needed, what I wanted to set aside for the future, and how much I needed to make to maintain a comfortable lifestyle. Once you know that number, you can work backward. How many clients do you need to serve to hit that target? How much should you charge per client? And just as importantly, how many hours can you realistically work without burning out? In my case, after my stroke, I knew I couldn't work the way I had before. I had to adjust my business model to fit my new reality. Most small business owners don't have a clear plan for how many clients they need or how many hours they can work. We get stuck in a cycle of saying yes to everything because we're constantly chasing revenue without thinking about profitability. We think, if I take on more clients, I'll make more money, but that's not always true. Consider a large corporate client who you think will significantly boost your income. They pay well, but they also require constant attention, frequent last-minute meetings, and have complicated tax needs that take far more time than you anticipate. Despite the high fees, you end up working long hours just to keep up with them, which means neglecting other clients and your own health. In the end, the extra revenue doesn't compensate for the added stress, exhaustion, and missed opportunities with clients who were easier to manage and fit better into your business. This is a hard lesson in how more clients don't always equal more profit. Sometimes they just drain your time and energy without proportionate financial return. Many businesses fail because they focus on increasing revenue without considering the actual cost of running the business. You end up adding clients, taking on more work, and stretching yourself thin, all while your profitability stagnates or even declines. You forget that the goal of having a business was to make a profit and live a better life, not to work yourself to death. Reverse engineering helps you avoid that trap. It forces you to think critically about what you really need in terms of clients, revenue, and hours worked. Just as important as defining your financial goals is defining how you spend your time. For me, this was a non-negotiable after my stroke. I had to prioritize sleep, which meant I couldn't work the crazy hours I used to. Whether you've faced a health scare or not, the truth is none of us can work 24/7. We need sleep, rest, and time away from work to recharge. So start by asking yourself, how many hours can you work each day realistically? Most people can't function well on less than 8 hours of sleep. If you're pushing yourself to run on 4 or 6 hours of sleep, you're setting yourself up for long-term damage. Once you know how much sleep you need, you can figure out how many hours you have left in the day to dedicate to work. For me, I knew I could work no more than 8 hours a day, and that's how I reverse engineered my time. I started with the hours I had available and then figured out how many clients I could realistically serve in that time. I couldn't work overtime anymore, so I had to make each hour count. Finally, once you figure out how much time you have and how many clients you can serve, you need to know your value. What are you worth per hour? Many business owners undercharge, thinking they'll make up the difference by taking on more clients. But that's a quick path to burnout. Instead, figure out what you need to charge to cover your costs, make a profit, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. It's all about balancing input and output. You can't serve everyone, and you can't work all hours of the day. By reverse engineering your business, you can find the sweet spot where your work supports your life, not the other way around. All right, so these are signs it's time to reverse engineer your business. Running a business without a clear plan or direction can lead to burnout, inefficiency, and ultimately a lack of profitability. If you find yourself constantly chasing more clients, working overtime, or losing track of your personal goals, it's time to take a step back. Here are the signs that it's time to reverse engineer your business. Number one, you're always busy but never getting ahead. If you're working long hours but feel like you're stuck in place, it's a sign that your business isn't structured for success. Simply taking on more work won't lead to the results you want if your time and energy are being drained inefficiently. Being busy without progress is a sign your business needs structure, not more work. Number two, you're unsure how much profit you're really making. Bringing in revenue is one thing, but if you can't clearly see how much profit you're actually keeping after expenses, it's a sign that your business model needs adjustment. Profitability, not revenue, should be your primary focus. If you can't measure your profit, you can't grow. Profit is the real target, not just revenue. Number three, your clients are controlling your schedule. If your clients are dictating when and how you work, rather than you deciding what works best for your business and lifestyle, it's time to reevaluate. Your time is your most valuable asset, and you need to manage it effectively. You should be running your business, not the other way around. Take back control of your time. Number four, you're constantly saying yes to everything, even when you don't want to. Whether it's taking on extra projects, working overtime, or accommodating difficult clients, constantly saying yes to everything is a red flag. This approach may bring in more revenue, but it won't lead to sustainable growth or a balanced life. Saying yes to everything leaves no room for what matters most. Learn to say no. Number five, you're overwhelmed and losing passion for your work. One of the clearest signs that it's time to reverse engineer your business is when you feel overwhelmed, stressed, or disconnected from the work you once loved. A successful business should support your life, not consume it. When the life you love feels like a burden, when the work you love feels like a burden, it's time to realign your business with your life. If any of these signs resonate with you, it's time to take a step back and reassess how your business operates. The path to success isn't about working harder or taking on more. It's about building a business that serves your life, not the other way around. Reverse engineering your practice allows you to restructure in a way that aligns with your goals, protects your well-being, and ensures long-term profitability. It's not just about survival, it's about thriving in a business that works for you. So here are the action steps in the workbook section here of the book. Action steps: redefining your business for long-term success. Now that you've recognized the signs that your business needs a change, it's time to take action. Reverse engineering your business starts with breaking things down and rebuilding them in a way that works for you. Here are the steps you can take. Number 1, consider your expectations. What kind of business do you really want to run? How many clients can you serve while maintaining a healthy work-life balance? Be clear about your expectations for your time, workload, and client relationships. This is the foundation for reverse engineering your business. Number 2, define your bottom line. Figure out how much profit you need to make each month to meet your personal and professional goals. This includes considering your lifestyle, savings goals, and any future plans for retirement. Once you know this number, you can work backward to determine how many clients you need and how much you need to charge. Number 3, reclaim control of your time. Start with the basics. How many hours a day can you work without compromising your health? Be honest with yourself about how much sleep you need and how many hours you can realistically dedicate to work each week. Use this information to determine how many clients you can serve within those hours. In the end, reverse engineering your business is about taking control and building something that works for you, not against you. By defining clear boundaries, focusing on profitability over revenue, and ensuring your business aligns with your personal values, you can create a practice that supports your life rather than consumes it. This approach isn't about doing more, it's about doing better and working smarter, not harder. By taking the time to reverse engineer your practice, you're setting the foundation for sustainable growth, personal fulfillment, and long-term success. It's a necessary step to ensure that you're not just surviving in business, but thriving. All right, well, you should see a link to go on to the next chapter with a raw read. I've also got, depending on when you're watching this and how it's developed, version where I read the chapter, but I've got commentary before and after. We're going to be moving on to chapter 5, maintaining integrity. And I mean like a bridge.
Tax season isn't broken because of the work. It's broken because of how we've been trained to think. More hours, more clients, more chaos? No, reverse it. This tax season, members move from surviving to thriving. Take a seat.